Welcome and Merry Christmas to all inspiring chefs, cooks, and everything in between alike. This is Griever, your guys' host as always. This is my bar, the place I am always at, and this is Shokugeki no Soma. Let's get cooking, because I want to talk about this chapter, the latest chapter, and I apologize, guys, for the lateness in this review, especially with One Piece on break this week. This review should have been out almost half a day ago. It really should have. I got off work early and everything, but there were some things that took precedent around the holiday season, unfortunately. Just want to get that out of the way. Now, another reason, though, is because I didn't read the chapter when it first dropped. No, I mean, it wasn't dropped before I went to bed. And then when I woke up in the morning and such, that wasn't on my mind. Like I went to work and stuff, and usually I try to, during coffee break or something at work, I try to check up all the updates. One Piece, Black Clover, Dr. Stone, Shokugeki, I try to check them all. And I didn't. I had no, it was just kind of I'm not excited. I don't need to see it. And that kind of sums up my feelings towards 2018 Shokugeki no Soma. Thankfully, 2019 is a brand new year for new things to happen. So I'm not looking at this as a bad thing. I realized that over the course of this arc, I haven't hated this arc. I have simply been disappointed and just not passionate, not excited about what is happening in Shokugeki no Soma. So, with that being said, this chapter was not bad. This was actually a good chapter. And I'm surprised, of course, once again, that out of all the chapters I picked to kind of, I'll get to it, happened to be one of the better ones, I feel, this month, in my opinion. Because we start off the chapter with Tsukasa using a garlic grater. Well, at least I use it for that. Lemon and garlic. That's what, and it is stated in the chapter that's what people use it for. Very rarely do people, I know they show the icon of a true cheese grater, but very rarely people use the length style grater for cheese. It's too fine. This is a very fine thing. This can be used even for things like Parmesan cheese. It's got too fine a grate in it, the style that Tsukasa is using. I personally own one, and people I know own this tool, and it's generally used for grating garlic and grating lemon zest. That's what I find people mostly use it for. Of course, it can be used for a multitude of other things, ginger and the like, but just wanted to say that. I like that Tsukasa also decides, I hate what they've done with the noirs. I really have. And I hate this whole chainsaws and juggling act and blood infusion and all this crazy stuff, right? But if they're going to do that, I like the fact that at least the main cast of characters are not protrude by this. They're not down in the dumps and they don't stick to yada yada yada. I'm just going to sear my eggs with a spatula in a frying pan. No. They all utilize this in their own unique ways. Tsukasa's especially using the fact that he's always been portrayed as a white knight, the knight of cooking. Him using this as a sword to tenderize the meat and such. That to me was really good. I didn't, for some reason, that went, wait a minute now, he's always been the white knight of cooking. He was always this, perfect shining knight. This makes sense. He would utilize it as a sword and stuff. If we're going to go down this road, at least they're trying to stick to the characters. For example, Megami. And even though that I don't really care for the character, her character development has been, bar none, some of the best so far. And her potential, what she learned from all these countries, presentation. This is where we see Sazanaman and such. And they're talking about all the different characters and what they're going to do. So Joshiro and Sazanaman are there. So that's a big wow moment for me. I'm just like, okay, this chapter just instantly got better because Joshiro's here. Again, we're not waiting another 50 chapters to see him pop up. No. We see him again. Really cool. And he's with Sazanaman and they're discussing what's going on. So that's really cool. But Megami, presentation. Now, presentation is something that I personally, any of you who were on my previous channel will know this, but people who have followed all my reviews may have heard me mention that presentation is something that I have a serious problem with on these cooking shows, like Chopped, MasterChef, Iron Chef America, Bobby Flay's Kitchen, all these different cooking shows, cooking competitions, in which they basically perform Shokugekis. Shokugeki no Soma is basically based off of the Iron Chef from Japan. But the thing is that they always grade things on presentation as part of a prerequisite. Like, okay, how does it taste? How does it look? How's the attitude? How's this? Like, there's categories, and they all, have different star ratings, so to speak. And I've always hated hearing that, oh, well, this tasted better, but it didn't look as appetizing as this one, so guess what? We're giving it to this one. It's like, no. To me personally, I understand what they're going for. But for me, when it comes to food, if that dish clearly tastes better than that dish, this dish wins. Because there are foods that look totally unappetizing to people, and it's some of the best food in the world. So I hate the fact that they can actually judge a dish. Now, if you want to go, okay, their taste is neck and neck, then you jump to presentation. That's fine, but I've always hated especially in Chop. Chop does this a lot, and that's why I've got a real bit of a hate boner for the show, because they do that a lot. They'll blatantly say that this dish was better than this dish in taste, but since it didn't present well, this is what's going to win out. And I'm just like, I understand the purpose behind it, but I don't agree with the end result, because if I make tastier food than you do, I win. I don't, I know, like my mother-in-law, she hates the sight of blood on a plate. Now, to me as a carnivore, there's nothing better than slicing into a rare roast beef that's been in the oven for 4 hours, and you just slowly slice that beef and you just see it oozing and nice and red and totally rare. The smell, that to me, all the eau juice mixed with the blood, that to me looks more appetizing. To her, it turns her stomach. So, presentation, once again, similar to taste, up for interpretation, but I've always hated that. But Megami brings this to the forefront, being the fact that she went to all the countries. Yes, she's improved her skill, but she's managed to also gain a skill that really everyone else has utilized, but that's her area of expertise. She's focused on an area of expertise that she knows that she will be good at, and that's presentation. And I love what she does with the whole like rose look, like the flower look with the beef. Looks beautiful. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Then we get, of course, Takumi. He brings out the moon slicer thing again, and that's his thing. Now, we don't see what Soma did. We do not see what Soma did, but we do see Shinzanemon and Joshiro talk about superhuman. And they're all talking about the superhuman thing. And Joshiro even basically says, no, Soma's just a diner cook. Why would he have superhuman traits? He's just a normal diner cook. But you made him go to Totsuki. You made him improve. So, like, I kind of get what they were going for with this. And I don't mind it. That's why I said this chapter is not bad, because it's showcasing the strengths of all the characters. We're seeing the moon slicer thing back, the Mezzaluna, or whatever it's called, from Aldani, and that was way back when. We're seeing Megami fully evolve and pick a category, a specialty, something she is personally can excel at, and that's presentation of dishes. Well, including, of course, good taste and stuff, but this is where she's focused. And we see Tsukasa going back to the White Knight persona. It's something that really, it's like, okay, this isn't bad writing. I don't like the method in which they're going this whole Prince of Tennis route. All we need Soma is to say Matamata Dane, and we'll have Prince of Tennis with cooking instead of tennis. But if we're going to go down this route, at least it's being handled well for the main cast. And as I said, we do not see Soma's. It's mentioned that he doesn't really have any of that superhuman strength sort of idea, that superhuman prowess. But Joshiro also says, however, normal cooks wouldn't want to be in this battle of light and dark and stuff. any normal cook, that is, and he's looking on to Soma, and he, bolds out normal, and Soma's just there smirking. Now, he's going to go up against, they all passed by the looks of this, and now we're actually going to have some Shokugeki battles. Finally, we're done with the 3 gates. They were crap. The first one was the only one worth anything to me. These last 2 were total trash, but now we're up to actual Shokugeki battles, one-on-one by the looks of it, and it's going to be the crazy Esdeath reject with the chainsaw versus Soma, and she seems very pissed. We saw her get pissed at the fodder light chefs. Once again, we're not going down the road as to why they're there and certain other characters are not, but these characters, she was pissed at them, and then looked on at Soma smirking, and now she seems to be genuinely pissed at Soma. So what crap, I hope we're going to jump back to see what he did, because clearly she doesn't like the method in which he won out. Kind of cool. I want to see that. I want to see that, because this is the Soma we've been waiting for. The whole kind of, I saw in the comments when I was reading the chapter and stuff, I saw in the comments on the forums and such later that people were saying, yes, because Soma doesn't need superhuman prowess because he's always going 110%. While somewhat of a weak shonen trope concept, it's not. It's been proven that that is what he does. He always goes 110. It doesn't matter who he's serving or what he's doing. If he's making a light snack or a gourmet meal, he's always giving it his all to try to do his best. And losing doesn't deter him. So for him to say, like, he's always been on that level, like he's just always had that superhuman thing, to him, that's his natural state. He's not normal. He's always in superhuman realm. Now, that begs the question as to who else is in that category. I would argue that Tsukasa is also a member of this category, where they're at this stage in their career, they're always superhuman prowess. They don't make a dish that's not that level anymore. But that's up for debate. We'll see what happens in the next chapter, but I don't know. Something happened. Something happened to piss off Esdeath Reject number 3 against Soma here, because just the glares and stuff. I'm very curious as to see how this is going to go down. Of course, I believe Soma is clearly going to be the clear winner in this first bout. But what do you guys think? I know this has been quite a long review, as my current Shokugeki no Soma ones have been rather short. But that's because there was something to unpack in this chapter. Things happen. Important things to note. Foreshadowing was done. Character traits coming back after a long absence, showcasing what they've learned and how they're going to meld this into the story. So, once again, I can't fault this chapter. This chapter has no real faults. The pacing was good. The character arcs were good. The characters acted like themselves. Really, this chapter was a 5 out of 5. The arc surrounding it and the concepts around it might be terrible, or I mean, once again, debatable, just my opinion. But the chapter itself as a standalone was a very good chapter. So I'm pretty excited. What did you guys think of the chapter? I hope this continues. Once again, every time we get a solid chapter like this, I really just hope I'm kind of, okay, we're out of the darkness. There's light at the end of that tunnel. We're cooking with gas finally. The stove is on. We're starting to sear some steaks. Let's get this going. So I don't have any more food puns, I don't believe. So anyways, what did you guys think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please like, subscribe, comment. As always, it is always very much appreciated. This has been Griever with your Behind the Bar reviews for Shokugeki no Soma. We will see you back here next time, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, drink responsibly. Ta-ta!